Hey everybody, welcome back to Intro to Charting in the Behavioral Sciences. We are picking up where we left off with our hybrid plot, which is our very fancy plot with XY scatter data and bar plot data. And we are at the point where we're ready to start making everything look professional. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add all the missing components that we need. And those are our axes, our chart title, and our legend. And we'll add that at the bottom. As always, we're going to get rid of these ugly grid lines because they're just not really helpful. We're going to go and we're going to change our font to Times New Roman. We'll bump up that to 12. We'll change our color to black. Now, while we're working on the axes, on our primary axis, which is in the left, we're going to limit that maximum to 100, and it's probably okay to leave it at an increment of 10. While we're here, we'll style the line on the side to be black, so we have a nice clear demarcation of that. We will name the axis, let's say percent correct implementation. So that'll be for our procedural integrity. Now we'll do pretty much the same thing for our secondary axis, which is on the right. We'll format our axis. A maximum of 4 looks like it's okay, but for units, let's keep it to 1. So there's just less going on. While we're here, we'll add a line in. We'll make that black. And then what we'll do is we'll label our axes rate of problem behavior. All right. We'll just do a little bit with our x-axis. We'll just make that solid line black, so everything just has that that more consistent kind of theme. For our title, we'll do I think we're calling it demand treatment evaluation for some miscellaneous behavior. Oop, and we'll rename our x-axis to, let's say, session. Now, since this is a demand type of treatment, generally we want to use this triangle guy. So let's go into our marker. Let's pick out a triangle. In baseline, I like to fill it with white and have a black border. Let's bump up that marker size to 7. And for our line, as always, we'll make that black, and then we'll drop it down to 1. Now we'll do something very similar for the treatment. We'll get the marker to be the triangle, and we'll make that size 7, but we'll fill it solid black this time. And we'll change the border to black as well. And for the line, we'll make that black and drop the thickness to 1. Alright. So for our functional communication response, what we'll do is we'll change our marker to be one of these less traditional ones. And if you recall, it doesn't show quite normally until our colors are all lined up. But we'll do no fill, and then we'll set the border to be black, which gives it that more characteristic shape that we were expecting. Actually, let's change to the other one. Yeah. Now we'll change our line to be black. Set our, actually, no, let's Let's set it to 1, but let's change it to a more distinct color, this bright blue. Let's do the same thing with the marker border. Let's actually make the marker size a little bit larger. Make it to 7 like the others. And for the procedural integrity, I like to stick with a color that is probably a little bit more of a background color. So maybe almost like the lightest gray, and we'll give it a black border. So that way it looks like it's just like an extra piece of data in the background, and it doesn't really steal the focus from everything else, even though there is quite a bit of change going on there. Alright, so that was our initial styling of our chart. In our next video, we'll do a little bit more with this chart to make it look a little bit more like a typical research design. But until then, stay tuned, watch the website, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you then.